No, I'm not uploading this to the wrong channel. I'm going to put this on the Entertainment Guy channel. The reason being that people who watch the Entertainment Guy videos are normally more likely to be fans of my Hockey Guy videos. And then, of course, there's the others who watch my entertainment videos as well. So I'm on the hockey set wearing the hockey jersey, and that's just kind of how things work. The talk right now, and I don't know how monetized this is going to be or for how long, and I'm not really worried about it. But what I am worried about is, and I'm watching the news and I'm keeping track of this. So even sometimes during hockey games, you might see a press conference that's going on, and I'm like, I gotta see what's going on. The coronavirus, it started in China, and it started where it looked kind of small. Right from the beginning, when I heard how it was transmitted and how contagious it was, I went, oh crap. So you have your cold virus, you have your flu virus, and now this is a new strain of your upper respiratory illnesses, and it's deadly. Now the flu, your seasonal flu, has a 0.1% chance of being fatal. This has a 2% chance of being fatal, as far as they can tell. Now here's where it gets kind of tricky. There is no case I've seen yet of a kid being sick, which doesn't mean they don't get it. It means they just carry it and spread it to other people. And for young adults, it may just be a cough, it may just be a little no big deal kind of thing. They may feel a little sick for a couple days, and then they're okay. So these are people who are not likely to get tested, not likely to go to the doctor, not likely to go through. So all of this, right? So now it's spreading around, and what's happened is we've started to see sporting events get shut down in some countries because large groupings of people, right, in one public sphere and very congested, be very easy for one carrier to go into a building like that and infect. You've got to think in close quarters. You can infect probably more than 10 people in a 2.5 hour period. You could probably infect more than 10 people, and this could be a person that's not even aware they have it. It's a person who may have no idea. Now, we have a trip coming up in less than 2 weeks, and that's during spring break, and there are concerns people have, and they should, but I'm kind of treating it the same as I would if it was the flu. Now, it's worse, but I make sure I'm still doing my treadmill every day. I make sure I'm in the best shape I can be, and that seems to make a difference when it comes to the people who aren't fighting this well and the people who are. I learned a long time ago that you can't be afraid of what might happen. You can't be afraid of how things might go. And I think that's still true even with this. There's your standard wash your hands. There's your standard cover your mouth when you cough. And I was always told use your sleeve. Don't use your hands, because now you've got it on your hands. So use your sleeve. And this is all stuff that I learned working in an assembly line. I regularly get colds and I regularly get allergy problems. We live not too far from a big park, and at any given time during the year, you could have major problems with pollen around here, and then I've got a runny nose and I'm sneezing all over the place, and people immediately go, oh, well, Shannon's sick. No, probably just allergies, but again, the symptoms can be the same. In terms of actual flu, I haven't had a really bad flu bug in a long time. Now, there are times where people confuse the stomach flu with the flu, and that's something completely different. That's a absolutely complete. They're not the same thing at all. And a stomach flu very often is just food poisoning. So it's that and I went through that a couple years ago where I got food poisoning, and it was awful. And so that's something that can happen, and you get that's a viral infection as well, and it's awful. Now, we have every intention of traveling. We're going to Vegas. We're going to be there for 5 days. We've got plans to go to Vegas and then Disneyland in August. I'm not changing any of that. I'm not canceling any of that, because where I live, we're just as likely to be exposed as we would be in, say, Las Vegas. Because we're right near Vancouver. Vancouver, you've got a major international airport and a lot of flights arriving from Asia. The thing that, when I'm watching this on the news and I keep thinking to myself, it's already here. You you can put in all of the safeguards now that you want, and I understand, and that's admirable, but it's already here. And really the focus has to shift at that point to treatment. It has to shift towards dealing with the reality of all this. Now, the reason I'm doing a video on this is simple. I do have concerns that with where this is right now and with how it is growing, that at some point it's going to hit professional sports in North America. And at some point, leagues could say, we have to shut down for a while until we get this under control. And I don't know how long that would go on for. This is foreign territory. We, of course, saw about a century ago the NHL canceled the Stanley Cup due to the outbreak of the influenza, the influenza, Spanish flu. And that was brutal. And with Spanish flu, what was scary with it was that it came over and it was bad. And it went away during the summer, and then when it came back in the fall, it was way worse. So we're still in the infancy with all this, but it is likely that it's already here locally, I would think. It is likely that one of our kids could go out to some kind of a social event and contract it and pass it along, because, again, kids seem to be carriers more than symptomatic. There's no symptoms from kids. So the way I look at it is I could stay just here and not go out and throw a mask on and just hide. But it's likely not going to stop that virus from getting in. And it is scary. I know there are, people throw around, well, it's just 2% die. Yeah. So that would mean if you have 10,000 people in a town that get sick, that's what, 200 dead? That's a lot of people. So when I see it's not that bad, it is though, because this is on top of, and it is worse than what we see with the flu, the seasonal flu. And because we don't have any way to fight it, because humans have never had to fight this strain of a virus off before. There are no antibodies. There is no actual immunity to it. There's nothing. So I am hoping that through the conditioning that I've put myself into since August, and I try to make sure I get a good night's sleep as often as I can, and just the fact that I'm not in my 60s, late 60s, early 70s, in that area, I am hoping that, and I don't smoke, which I think is key here, through all of those things, I'm hoping that when exposed, either I'm asymptomatic or it's mild. And the interesting thing too is that you're taught, and rightfully so, that if you're sick, stay home. And I know I used to have that argument with employers, where they would say, well, if you have the flu, go to the doctor and get a note. No. I never went to a doctor and got a note for the flu. And I would go in and tell them straight out, I'd be like, you can't expect me to bring a doctor's note for the flu. That is ridiculous. You are telling me to go to a doctor's office, infect everybody else in that office potentially, so that I can get a note from a doctor who tells me I should have stayed home, so that I can bring that note in and show you people that I went to a doctor. They don't actually test you for the flu virus. So, and this was the problem I had when the whole note-taking thing started. There was one time I went home sick, and the next day I went in and my boss like, where's your doctor's note? And I'm like, I didn't go to the doctor. I was sick. I went home and went to sleep. Well, you're in trouble. And I'm like, okay, well, no. Because I can go to a doctor right now and get a note saying I'm sick, and I'll do it. And then I won't be in trouble, right? I feel fine, but I'll go to a doctor and get a note saying I feel sick. Because they don't care. This is why a lot of doctors started charging you for work notes, because their whole day would be made up of people going in to get sick notes for work. And that's all they do. They just go, "Why are you here?" "Yeah, my boss says I have to be here because I'm sick." "All right, well, I'm sick. Here you go." I had one once even say, "How many days off do you want?" And I'm like, I'm sick today. I don't have a date that I want to be better by." He's like, "I'll give you 3 days." "Oh, okay." I didn't ask for 3. I had people ask me every now and then, well, I'd get a doctor asking me, "Well, where do you work?" And I'd tell them, and they'd go, "Oh, well, do you want a week off?" No, I can't afford a week off. So that's the world we're in. And now with this, I think it's going to get worse. I do get concerned that at some point in time, the National Hockey League is going to come forward and go, due to the spread of this, and we don't want to further spread it, that we're going to have to shut things down until this calms down. I don't have any idea how long that would take. I don't have any idea how long that could go on. And so, you know, it's a situation I really don't like the idea of how bad this could get, but it is in the back of my mind. So I don't talk about it in like I do hockey news, the day videos every day. I'm not going to talk about it in there. It's giant downer. But in general, it is something that's in the back of, I think, everybody's mind right now. So I wanted to do a quick video and upload it, and I'm keeping track of it day by day, and even all the professional leagues are consulting together on this with governments both south of the border and north of the border here, saying, all right, what does today's update look like? So there's clearly some chance that sports fans could find themselves kind of bereft of sporting events to attend for a while, but that's the least of our worries. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. Again, hand washing, and just general good practices. It's all the same. It just may mean that, you know, all the handshakes and the hugs that people give each other, that may go by the wayside for a while here. That may just be completely out for a while, because we may not know who actually has what and when and how. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And I did want to touch on this here and just get it out there and have it done. So thank you guys for all your support, and here's to hoping that they do come up with some kind of a vaccine, because that's the plan, but that could take a long time. So we can't really pin our hopes on that right now, because it could take 18 months. It could take that long. So we'll see. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.